Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of BrickWall Reviews, where we review movies live here. Um, Tonight is our viewers' choice review. We're very excited about Sam.
Viewer's choice tonight. So,
full disclaimer, you guys voted for this one.
I can't blame you. I can't, because somebody had to put it in there as a suggestion, you know?
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I'm not going to dwell on that.
Tonight's review is something that we see a lot of people have been watching. It's been the topic of many conversations lately, and it is Dave Chappelle's newest Netflix special, which is entitled Sticks and Stones. As some of you may see, I might be the only person on this side of the screen that had some enjoyment out of the special. Quickly, before we start a review, just want to remind you guys to make sure you like and share the videos. Make sure you invite more people to this page. And keep tuning in. And thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for being viewers. And thank you all for voting. With that said, a little bit of background. Would you like to do the honors? The Dave Chappelle hatred is real over here. This is...
I'm sorry.
It wasn't a purpose decision.
But we're not gonna get into it. I'm fine. I'm fine. I don't want to do that. So we'll just continue. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, Dave Chappelle, for those of you who may not know, is an award-winning stand-up comedian and actor, known most notably for his work on the Comedy Central series The Chappelle Show, as well as the 1998 comedy film Half-Baked. And in 2016, Dave Chappelle, he struck a multi-million-dollar deal with Netflix to release multiple specials, which I did not know was at this point 5, technically 6, but 5 because of the epilogue at the end. So
of those 5, how many have you seen?
I have actually seen all 5 of the Dave Chappelle comedy specials.
Okay.
Yeah, I have, and I know that this is your first Dave Chappelle special.
Well, yes, it is.
Okay, so all right, so just going from that standpoint, before I get into any of my thoughts and where I rank this and everything, I want to know as a first time.
Okay, so I'm not a first time Dave Chappelle person because I've attempted Dave Chappelle. And so I don't want my own personal opinions to influence how anybody else may feel, or, you know, if you want to watch the movie, because if you like him, just watch it. But me personally,
she's not a fan. I don't know why she's pulling punches.
We'll just keep it like that. Like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to eat him alive. I don't.
Well, this is going to be very quick. I'm
good though. I did watch it. I watched it. It was a viewer's choice.
She did. It was viewer's choice. Which I'm actually very surprised. And I'm going to get right into the review after this, but I'm actually very surprised it was Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
I'm more surprised than I let on to be. But
I was ready for Aladdin though. But we won't get into that. So
soon. So my thoughts on the Dave Chappelle special, having seen all of the Netflix specials that came out, going into it, I was expecting a little bit more, actually. I don't disagree with Sam when she says that the special wasn't very funny.
Mm-hmm.
Just approaching it from a stand-up comedy point of view, which is I watch a lot of stand-up comedy, and like I said, I watched all the Dave Chappelle ones. I thought this was one of the weaker ones. The first 2 were probably the ones that made me laugh the hardest.
Okay. Well, for me, initially. Okay, so it's appearance first. So it's appearance. So if I'm gonna be on TV, I'm not gonna come looking like that. I'm just gonna say that. You know,
the jumpsuit.
It could have been a better outfit choice. It was not flattering. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It was a weird fashion choice.
Yeah, so that already, I was just like, you know what? Here we go.
we're fashion.
Here we go.
Today.
So here we go. But I mean, just overall about his show, it was, of course, political, which is always touchy. I mean, he had various topics in there.
Yeah.
I mean, even his opening.
Yeah, with the
like you just came out. Here we go. We just not gonna smooth it out. We just gonna.
Yeah, he comes in and pretty much starts with a I guess spoilers for a comedy special, but he comes out strong with like a suicide.
Anthony, what is it? Bourdain?
Anthony Bourdain. Yeah, he was talking about Anthony Bourdain. I don't know anything about Anthony Bourdain. I had just heard that name when I watched the Dave Chappelle special, so I'm sorry if that was important.
Well, I mean, he basically he flew around the world. He used to eat, you know, so, and he committed suicide, so.
Yeah, and he kind of compared that to a gentleman that he knew in his younger days that was in law school and got divorced and ended up working at Foot Locker. And he said that guy didn't kill himself. And so he was couldn't figure out how somebody that's so rich and famous pretty much would kill themselves, being that you technically have what anybody else wants, which is money. And so, that was his view on it, that he doesn't understand. Yeah, and why. A lot of his views actually on just topics in the world and current events. There's a part in the special that he says that I think is mostly true, especially surrounding the controversy, where he says, you clicked here. He says, you clicked on my face if you're watching this on Netflix. And it kind of, it's true. I think it's true. Even in the face of all the controversy, there's a really, just reading through the news, is a really big hot topic joke that he goes into that we'll get into a little bit later with the alphabet people. Yeah, a lot of his jokes, even just from the beginning,
and his impressions, like,
yeah, his impressions and everything.
So, I mean, so we'll move on. Then, he talked about the celebrities from, things going on with Michael Jackson, and just a couple of jokes about it. And like I said, everything that he talked about was pretty much touchy. So it's like,
yeah. When he got into the Michael Jackson things in particular, that kind of made me cringe a little bit, because I was like, oh, this is dangerous, even for you, Dave Chappelle. Like I know it's sensitive times or whatever, but that was pretty edgy, with the saying why Michael Jackson, with Michael Jackson, it was just, I don't even want to repeat it. It was kind of much. It was much for my taste.
But we're not gonna do.
Yeah, not gonna give away any of the jokes. Just kind of, it's controversial.
So I mean, it was. I mean, like I said, his whole show, just prepare for it. I mean, you're gonna like some things, and you're not going to like a lot of things. Yeah, you're not going to like a lot of things. Like, one thing that really stuck out to me was the victim blaming. I understand. I said everything is a joke. It is. I understand. You're a comedian. This is what you do. It's your delivery of stuff. But I don't personally agree with the idea that he had in regards to the victim blaming. Like, I do not agree with his delivery of that joke at all.
Yeah, that's very touchy. I was kind of a little bit cringe on that. And again, that's coming from someone who has a very odd sense of humor. I found that a little much. It kind of made me a little uncomfortable as a viewer.
Yeah, pretty much blaming, the victim for their own situation, which I do not agree with.
Yeah. So there was that.
And then he talked about R. Kelly. So that was his celebrity thing. You know, he talked about R. Kelly and, you know, kind of comparing him and Michael, whether or not he thought which one would have done it,
Well,
which one wouldn't have done it. Of course, it goes
without saying that we know R. Kelly
we already
did
know. But, like, you know, he talked about that. So, I mean, he joked about that, which is kind of crazy. And like
he didn't go too far with that one, which is the one I thought he would have went all in on, opposed to the Michael Jackson one.
I say he. I mean, how much further can you go?
Yeah, no, R. Kelly has taken a pretty.
How much further can you go? Like that would have been so. I'd have just been like, you know, just turn it off because it's just too much right now. Just turn it off. Going too deep.
Yeah.
And he even brought up Kevin Hart, so.
Yeah, he brought up the Kevin Hart thing, and if you are an individual, and I guess I'm going to use this as a segue, but if you're an individual who takes issue with a certain F word that isn't 4 letters long, maybe this might not be one thing you want to watch, because he eases into the uses of the word, and then the more that he realizes he can use it, he continues to use it, and it, you know, it's not
for anybody.
For anyone,
just be aware. Like
it's
a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot to. You're like, okay, oh,
yeah.
So
there was a bit I didn't think I was really going to think about it the way I did, but when he referred to, you know, LGBT, the alphabet people, and
see, I was a little bit confused. I'm going to admit that. Because when he was like the alphabet people, and they take 20%, so me automatically I'm like, that's the IRS. Like, who else taking 20? Who else taking 20?
He meant 20% of the alphabet.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm like 20. I'm like, no, that's the IRS. So I was just like, damn right, they do. They always taking your money. Yeah. That's why I was like.
But I mean, with that though, with that perspective, that shows how a bit. I guess maybe the joke was a bit more complex. I don't know.
I just thought all I heard was 20%. I'm just like alphabet IRS. So we got 3. So I was just like, okay, whatever. But then the first time when I watched it, I was like, okay, well, I thought about the IRS. I'm like, that's the IRS? I'm like, it's the IRS. Then when he said the second part and continued to say that, you know, other letters of expression, I was like, oh, but they taking 20% off. I'm like, they're not getting that. So I was confused. Okay, whatever.
Yeah. The IRS.
Whatever. They take 20%. They take more than that. They take whatever they want. Leave me alone.
But yeah, so
but I will admit though, I did like the story in the car. I did like the story. I honestly loved the story in the car. I really did.
Don't find something funny about it.
Because you get it. It's like we trying to establish, and now y'all trying to come and mess up something that, you know, was established.
Yeah, and actually didn't think about it that way until I watched it the second time. I was like, wow,
the first time.
You know, he's using this as like a metaphor of like, you know, they're having it tough now.
He went through.
You got the other one in there that's just kind of
like first. He's pretty much trying to give chronological of what identification came first and the struggles, and pretty much saying these people came first, these people, and every step is like we still haven't. He's pretty much saying we still haven't established our first step, and here you come trying to come in and bring in extra stuff when we're already having a hard time as it is. Yeah. So that was pretty much what he was saying about that. But like I said, it was a good joke. It was, like I said, I would not agree with it. I wouldn't. I was like, listen, what got chosen? And what? Oh, please.
It was good. That was one of his good jokes in there. Gosh, what other jokes probably stood out to you? That was the big one that stood out to me.
Like I said, a lot of his stuff to me is pretty much. Like I said, a lot of his stuff is information. You know?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's pretty much information. It's not to where it's like the jokes that you are expecting,
Yeah.
It's like little dark humor, I feel,
Yeah, with the BB gun thing.
Yeah, like it is.
Yeah, that one was pretty funny with the BB gun. Pepper them up. I'm gonna.
Yeah, so what happened then was, so he was telling the story. He's, looking outside. He see a man walking in his yard with a whole shotgun on. And so he couldn't do what he wanted, which was he confront the person. So he had to just wave. Hey, how you doing, sir? Who wants to wave at somebody walking through my own personal yard with a shotgun? Like you own it? How much taxes you pay? Like I feel some type of way. I'm staying in the house, looking out the window, and you where? No. So I understand that. So he was like, he rushed over to Walmart. Yeah, I think. Well, he rushed
went to
a
store, got a gun, and
so he was trying to find out, the bullets, the difference between the buckshots and the bird shot. And so he was like, the guy pulled out the 2 boxes. We have the duck box, and we got the what was it? The deer box. It's the deer box and the ducks box. The deer box has the buckshots, which will put a hole in your truck. And the duck box, it has the bird shot, which is just pepper them up. Pepper them up. Pepper them up. So we don't want to pepper them up. Not the whole time. We want to give them a chance.
That was a good one. I think those are like, they had highlights and everything, but again, it was one of the weaker specials for me. I've seen Dave Chappelle funnier. I've seen comedy specials a bit funnier that kind of keep me going through the entire thing, and I don't know, this one just didn't really set that bar. But again, you also have to realize times are drastically different, so there's a mixture of things. There's only but so far you can go with comedy now, which is unfortunate.
Well,
and so you have to pull from.
I mean, I think that's what anything is sensitive. It don't have to be comedy,
Yeah,
it's just touchy right now. It's a lot of feelings.
Yeah,
right now.
A lot of people can look up old things, and it happens every day. But
he touched on topics like, related to women's rights, the Me Too movement, which, first he went all right with it. Now I was like, you know what? Nah, like I said, it's just, I don't agree with the delivery of some things. I won't support it being delivered or being received in a certain type of way because it's not appropriate. So he talked about that, the abortion, which I did agree with. It is, I keep my opinion about abortion, but I don't feel that it should be left up to an individual, a male, just, a male. Because I don't want to even say, because it should be left up to a male. But he did come back and joke about it. It's like, okay, well, if you decide to have this baby, then I can opt not to be in the baby life. Because I'm like, let's go down here and get this abortion. And you just like, nah. So that was funny. And that did give you something to think about. It did. Like, would it come to, something like that, to where the male doesn't want to have the baby, but the female does, like, would it ever get that critical? But, he talked about that. He talked about school shootings. And he also talked about the opioid epidemic. The, what do you call it? The, is it a mental condition now? That's what he called it. Is it it's a medical condition?
Yeah, medical condition.
It's an opioid epidemic, which of course we know affects more of it affects another population of people. So, he's pretty much saying, y'all was saying nothing when it was coke and crack and stuff like that. Now they were criminals, they were crooks. So now we have this opioid epidemic and it's affecting y'all. So now we have to send y'all to rehab. Y'all good. Y'all not criminals. Y'all didn't mean to do it. Now that was like, okay, you got that one. But he was on thin ice. He was on thin ice for a lot of.
Got political. Got really kind of close to the edge of.
It was like this was the news, and this was the It was like that. Like it was.
But that's pretty much how all comedy.
I understand that, but
especially in this climate, which I'm glad he didn't get too political with a lot of things, because that's a really easy pocket to fall into.
It's like he just kept it what his joke was,
and
that's what it needed to be, because the joke was enough. The joke was enough.
It's good that he was able to. It's good that comedians are still able to do stand up in this climate, and this actually has me, on a quick tangent. It actually has me a little bit excited for Eddie Murphy's.
I'm just checking the time because you said quit.
It actually has me excited for Eddie Murphy's special. It's coming.
We're excited about it, and that's all we'll say. Yeah, that's it.
That's it. It does have me excited. I like what Dave Chappelle did here with this special. There was an epilogue at the end. That was
but before that, it was two other things that stood out to me too, though.
Oh, what else?
Remember when he went to secure the home, make sure there was no robber in the home, and he thought, he started out with the full play at first.
Yeah.
And
don't ruin all the jokes for him.
I'm not ruining it.
There was a lot of,
the last one I was gonna say, it's a French actor. That's it. That's it. I mean, don't even say
you guys
the name.
Know the joke, but
so exactly, so I can't spoil it then. Why I can't spoil it?
It got books for a reason. No, what was it? Jesus?
No, nah. Nope, that was funny.
It was.
But
the special's good. Afterwards, and I didn't notice until after I watched it the first time, there's an epilogue, which is like a separate special of his where he was on Broadway and he lets the audience do a Q&A with him, and there are jokes in there that are pretty funny. Things that he says are pretty cool, and
questions that could have been avoided.
It was 22 minutes of Dave Chappelle being Dave Chappelle. Which is why I say it's technically 6, because that's a completely different location and a completely different comedy set. So at that point, Dave Chappelle now has 6 Netflix comedy specials in my mind.
In your mind, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I would count it as 6.
Is it a separate show?
Well, I mean, they packaged the two of the first 3 they packaged together, but they were considered separate. I'm just going by that. I'm going by Netflix.
I don't know. Like I said, I would not know.
Well, yeah, no.
I definitely wouldn't know.
You guys did great.
But
but I mean, I think that's we talked about Chappelle.
Yeah, I mean,
a little longer than I thought.
I was not gonna let the viewers down. Like,
I
put my personal opinions aside. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We love our viewers. And
that's what I'm saying. Of course, I would make sure that
Yeah.
Now, some stuff I'm just gonna be like,
she'll be here every step of the way, and I can guarantee that.
I think about it. I had to check my schedules.
I can guarantee that she'll be here. I'll be here. Hopefully, you'll be here for our next review.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, guys. Remember, like the page, share the videos, keep coming back. Next week, well, not next week. Next review, it's gonna be something.
It might be a pop-up review. It might just pop up because I mean,
you never know. This next
just
review,
be a surprise review.
We might be Beyonce these peeps. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.